What's up, guys? Kimmis here from Meanwhile the Man Cave. We take a look at all things pop culture, games, toys, or anything we think is cool. And today we are taking a look at the Hot Toys Back to the Future 2 DeLorean time machine. In 1/6 scale, we have the original Back to the Future time machine that we had got actually long before we had a station. So today we're going to be taking a look at this new one, and we're going to compare it to the old one. So this comes with a shipper box that has some artwork on it, just a picture of the machine itself. So let's get it out of here and take a look. Alrighty. Pull this thing out. Now, whereas the original DeLorean came in a art box, this one, it seems to only come in like a foam box with some straps on it. I guess this seems pretty protective, though. You know, maybe a little bit less cardboard waste, but got a cool picture of the DeLorean sailing out from where they don't need roads in the future of 2015. So let's get these straps off and take a look. If you remember from one of our previous videos that we did, the Tumbler Batmobile had these same type of straps on it. Go. That just comes right off. Nice little backdrop here. Pretty nice. Oh, actually, and on the back, it's got the some assembly required instructions. Now, I do remember we did have to put quite a bit of gear on the previous DeLorean. All right, it would appear that we have a piece of the base on the top here. That's what this would be, I believe. Yeah, looks like part of the base. Feels fairly sturdy. And some of the DeLorean itself here, whatever the pieces are that go over the top near the rear of the vehicle. I don't know what you call them. Actually, no, this is up near the bumper. This goes on the bumper here. And the other one had this too. Very well done. You can see right through the grating. Now these go over near where the reactor would have been on the original, but where Mr. Fusion is now on the DeLorean 2. And the other side. Again, feels nice. The pieces have some heft to them. And this has to be more pieces of the base. These do feel pretty solid. Unless this vehicle is really heavy, these feel like they should hold up. More pieces of the base. And we'll be showing you how all this base goes together here soon. Again, just more pieces of the base. There's quite a bit to this base, it would seem. Alright, now to some of the fun stuff. We've got the alarm clock that goes on the dashboard of the car, and Mr. Fusion itself So here's the Mr. Fusion. Looks like it's on a hinge here. You can just tilt this back. And there you go. And that seals it back up. And the little alarm clock that was on the dashboard. Looks pretty cool. All right, we're going to take the top off here. There she is. The Delorean herself. Doc Brown's time machine. Beautiful looking here. Just like the other one, it's got a beautiful finish on it. Let's free it from its styrofoam prison. All right, she's been freed from her styrofoam prison. Put a blanket down here so we don't have any scratches or anything. She's got plastic on the windshield, plastic on the side windows. So when you get it, you'll notice how back here around the wiring and stuff, you'll have some plastic you'll need to take off. This looks like where Mr. Fusion's gonna go. Let's start assembling some of this and then we'll go from there. All right, so starting out here, we're gonna put this piece on right here. So you've got these receptacles here, 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 and here. Well, they have corresponding pieces that go in there. Here, here, and here. So you're just going to place those in there. I will tell you, for me, it was easier to place these pieces in first, right? And that helped me line up these two clear pieces in the front and snap them in. But that's just me. You know, it may vary for you. Next, you're going to be putting the wires into these receptacles. The colored one goes down into this right here in the back. The smaller version here should push right down in. And then the larger wire should plug into the other right there. And you're going to repeat that for the other side. Next, we're going to be attaching these pieces, okay? So, on the back of the vehicle, there are two wires here and here, right? There's a larger one, kind of like that was on the front, that when we attach those wires, and then the braided wire, right? Those are going to correspond to these right here. Make sure you place them in the holes before you attempt to attach this. Once you've done that, you can attach this piece up in there. There's a little place, and you'll see it. I lift this up a bit. On the underneath, you see that little receptacle? There's a little spot for that part. That's the other side over here. That is where this is going to plug in once you put the wires on. Then you work your way around, and you're going to be plugging each and every one of these little things into the receptacle. Here, 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 here. You really can't miss it. Just follow them up, line them up until you get up to the top. So what I mean, just so you can see them that are open, there's receptacle holes for each side. Okay? Once this piece is attached up here, let's see, you've got two more receptacles for the larger wires here. They're down here and unattached, like right here. Okay. You're gonna put that one in the larger hole, and then you've got the braided line too. You have to plug into the smaller holes. And here's what it looked like after the fact. Next, we're gonna want to open up these doors. Should be able to do it right from the door handle. There we go. Inside the vehicle there, put on the alarm clock. So on that alarm clock, you have this little thing right here. That's going to plug into a spot up on your dashboard. You come around, see that hole right there? That's where that's going to plug in. And once it's plugged in, it should look like that. Obviously, make sure that the face is facing the steering wheel, the face of the clock. All right, it is Mr. Fusion time. So you have these little receptacles on the back, and on Mr. Fusion himself, you got these tabs. Line those up. Make sure that Mr. Fusion is facing the rear of the vehicle with this door, and snap it into place. Now, once he's in place, you should be able to pull that out and pull that back. Next, we're going to open up the hood. There you go. This is where you've got your spare tire and your power switch. Now, you're going to need a little mini Phillips screwdriver. We're going to have to take that off. That's where your batteries are going to go. Once the screw's undone, just remove that. And that is where you're going to put your 3 AA batteries. Now, while you have the hood open, if you want to take the plastic off, you need to take off the windshield wipers. And then you can peel your plastic off. There's a little tab up in the corner. And away we go. And you should be able to peel the others off too. And repeat with the other side. Should be able to close that back up. Actually, no, don't close it back up. Put your windshield wipers back on. So just stick them back into the receptacles they came out of, and you should be good to go. Next, we will be assembling the base. Now, an easy enough way to do this, if you're looking at the base, you've got these little arrow things right here, right? See them on the back of the receptacles? Well, these little pieces, if you look on them, they have these little pieces that are triangle shaped. So you just got to line those up when you put them in. And for the front, you will see these 2 little imprints. Well, they match up to the same kind of thing on here. See these little step-like things on this piece right here? Well, those go in there and slide right in. Next, I placed this in with the angle going this way, and the other side, it is one side's higher than the other. I repeat it over here. Make sure those are snugly in place. And you know what? Use at your own risk, because it is just plastic. I wouldn't move the car around on this piece at all, because, you know, I don't know how well it's going to attach, but use with caution. So here's the underneath of the car, so you can get a look. See the parts that are going to light up. Go down here near the fuel tank. Now, the wheels are supposed to fold up. I will show you how that's done. All right, so here are both of them, the Back to the Future 1 and the Back to the Future 2 Hot Toys DeLoreans. So, one thing I can tell right off the bat that's a little different, if you're looking at the front of the car, it's a little bit different color for this piece here. It's definitely a more subtle difference on the new version than it was on the old. So, another thing I've noticed on the original, the front tires do not, they'll spin obviously, they'll roll. I mean, that's not an issue, but they will not turn. So, on the new version, your wheels will turn. So you can turn them in to angle them or whatever. It still will not affect the steering wheel. So when you turn those wheels, it doesn't turn the steering wheel at all. So that hasn't changed. The other thing I've noticed is inside the car itself. Let's see, we'll open up the door. Okay, it is ratcheted, so you can open it at different angles, and hold it there. The seats. Now the seats are going to be a little more plasticky in this. There's no, it doesn't feel rubbery at all. Whereas on the new one, it almost feels like it's made of a rubbery like material compared to the hard plastic on the first one. So I kind of like this material better. Now, wiring on here, the braided wiring on the old version, it does have different colors. It's definitely more subtle than what you're going to get on the new one. So we're going to look at the same side on the new one. And as you can see, the braided wires are more brightly colored. Tires on the original are more of a clean look. Now if we check out the tires over on the new one, it's hard to see, but they do have almost like a dirt on them. So they're not clean tires. So I don't know if that's on purpose or it's a form of, it looks like it might be like a sort of form of weathering. So you have that. Here we are at the rear of the vehicles. Obviously the one from Back to the Future 1 is on the right. The new one is on the left. Obvious difference here. Get your license plate. And your barcode license plate. Underneath here, pretty much the same. And next, the obvious difference. Here you have the nuclear reactor compared to the Mr. Fusion over here. Now if you see this shroud that's over the top here where Mr. Fusion is, sticks up quite a distance. comparison to the nuclear reactor. You also have on the original version this right here, where they end up connecting the lightning rod at the end of the first movie. Whereas over here, you've got this unit instead. Now the other parts seem basically the same. On the sides, you've got the, I don't know what those are. They almost look like rocket propelled grenades, but and these over here, which is all the same. Still have that here on the new one. And that. So that didn't really change there. Now, as far as the lighting goes, you can kind of see it right from here. You have the tail lights and everything to light up here. But on the new one, you've got the tail lights. You got the lights inside of here. Obviously, there's a glow down underneath the car too. On the side, you have these lights in the back, as well as up in the front. Pretty much the same here. And the headlights on both of these would seem to be pretty much identical. Now, I think this is where we're going to see some of the bigger differences here. Now, on the original, not really any dash lights, but up above, you do have them. Lights up there, as well. That light in the back of the cabin. I mean, from back of the driver's seat. Do have the flux capacitor going back there. And it would appear there's another light down in the back of the passenger seat. But really nothing up in the front. Now, as far as details inside the car itself, as far as, does it have the pedals? Now, on the original, there is no carpeting and no gas or brake pedals, but you do have all the other fun accessories that Doc Brown had in his car. You do have the alarm clock up on the dash. You have the gauges and everything in there. Get a compass up here. The time board or whatever you call that thing in there. And over on the other side, you've got some gauges and things over there as well. Now, to see what improvements, if any, that they did on the second version. You do have lights up here, like you did in the first one. You have your flux capacitor in there, just the same. Light in back of driver's seat. Now, you can't, there is a light over in back of the passenger side side seat. I will show that to you on the other side. But here's the major improvement. All your gauges now light up. So your dash lights are now on and illuminated, along with the time circuit, which is illuminated. That's awesome. That's a great improvement. And look over there. All those gauges are lit up. Now we're going to take a look at that from the outside so you get a better look, but very cool there. Now let's see if they added any carpeting or pedals. It doesn't appear they did. No, still no pedals and no carpeting on the floor. You have these pieces here too. I don't think the writing actually stands out. Oh, it does, which is cool. You have C drive circuits off and on. So, shifter. And here we are over on the passenger side. Get a closer look at those gauges. That's cool. Those are all illuminated now. That's great. Here's the other light back at the passenger side, which they did have on the original version of this that Hot Toys put out. But it's great that they added all the dash lights. We'll get a better look up here. The gauges and things. Yeah, everything looks great in this model so far. Now, if you've got the new Doc Brown that just came out a little while ago, one thing you can use the plutonium that comes with him, the deluxe version, and it will go inside the nuclear reactor. And then you can just throw the top back on. It was some nice forward thinking that they made it so that came off. Now, if you're talking as far as the movies go, the first one's my favorite. I love how it looks with the nuclear reactor on the back of it. But this new one's very cool as well. Now, let's give this a little turn on the turntable, and then I am going to show you how to fold the wheels. And here are your lights up underneath. They are more green than they show on camera here. See if I can adjust the exposure a little bit here. They're actually even more green than that, but it's hard to pick up on camera. But the underneath of the original DeLorean basically looks like this as well, but does not have all these lights. So I'm going to show you how to fold these wheels. The other lights that are on here that you might not notice right off the bat is actually a white glow light under the rim here. Let's see if I can make it obvious. So you can see it's in there. It's actually pretty bright in person. So in order to fold these wheels out, you actually pull them gently out. So they should go not too hard. And then they should just fold down. And this is how they should look when they're fully extended. And you just repeat that on the other side. So, in conclusion, very happy with this model. Glad I got it. And I want to thank you guys all for tuning in, and come back for the next episode of Meanwhile the Man Cave. I'll talk to you guys later.